Hello, welcome to another Deck Tech here on Cheap SMTG. This time we're talking Bant Superfriends. So, Tamiyo was a release in Eldritch Moon. She's quite a strong Planeswalker. Her mana cost does put you into Bant, but it turns out there's quite a few other reasons to be in Bant right now. One of them is Collected Company, but we've gone down a slightly different route. So this deck's built around Bant Planeswalkers with a few other niceties thrown in. So we play 3 Tamiyo. Tamiyo is a pretty strong card on paper, at least. Nice +1 for just being able to draw cards. Works very well with vigilant creatures. -2, quite strong. Just tapping down, sort of tempo, slightly controlling move, and a very strong ultimate. We also run 2 Kiora. Kiora is quite an underused card. Granted, she isn't the strongest, but her +1 has some synergies, particularly with cards like Dragonlord Ojutai and Archangel of Tides, which you want to keep untapped for as long as you possibly can. Her -2, less relevant in this kind of a deck, but I can see it sneaking into some Delirium decks. And again, she has a very strong ultimate. She's only a 2 of though, because she's probably one of the weaker Planeswalkers in the Bant colours. We also play Jace Vryn's Prodigy and Nissa Vastwood Seer, both as 3-ofs. Jace has just been a phenomenally strong card for as long as he's been in Standard. Doesn't really need too much explanation. But looting whilst he's a creature is very useful, and the ability to flash back some of your spells. Very strong. Again, good ultimate. Nissa Sage Animist, card draw machine for her +1. And again, another strong creature, another strong ultimate. Onto the creatures. It's a pretty easy choice of creatures. Playing some of the best creatures in Standard right now. We play 4 Sylvan Advocate. As I've mentioned, this works well with Kiora. It's just a strong 2-drop that benefits later on in the game. Play 4 Tireless Tracker. Get great value out of Tireless Tracker. Good 3-drop. Helps you draw clues. Grows great on in the game. So it's a threat from start to finish. Reflect Mage, again as a 4-of, is just a great tempo move. And we also play 2 Dragonlord Ojutai. As we mentioned, again works well with Kiora. Way to draw cards later on in the game. And just a good flying threat to close games out. Onto the spells package. We play 3 Oath of Nissa. Way to draw cards and smooth the mana requirements for casting our Planeswalkers. Tamiyo requires 3 colours, so it's quite nice to be able to cast her with, say, just only being able to have access to 2. Similar with Kiora, if you've not quite got the right mana, it helps you to cast her. Dromoka's Command has probably been one of the most prevalent spells in Standard since Shadows over Innistrad came out. It's just littered the top 8 tournaments. It's just one of the best all-round cards I think Standard's had for a while, so we're going to play 4 of that after we're in the colours. Play 1 Declaration of Stone, just a bit of extra removal that can target pretty much any creature in the format that's not hexproof. And fresh out of Eldritch Moon, we're also playing 2 Scour the Laboratory. So this deck should be able to hit Delirium with instant sorcery, enchantment, land, Planeswalkers. So we will be casting Scour the Laboratory for drawing 3 cards for 4 mana at instant speed. It's a pretty solid deal. Onto the mana base. We're quite firmly in 3 colours, so the mana base is slightly tricky. At the moment, this is purely on paper without too much testing. I've opted for 4 Lumbering Falls as our manland, 4 Canopy Vista, 4 Prairie Stream, and 3 Fortified Village. Having access to green is probably the most important part of the deck, so the lands do reflect this. On to basics. We play 3 forests, 2 islands, 2 plains, and 3 Evolving Wilds to be able to fetch them. I think it's important to have Evolving Wilds in this kind of deck. You do need 3 different colours, and being able to fetch the colour as and when you need it is fairly important. We're only playing 3 Evolving Wilds, not 4, due to the lack of basics. It may be correct to try and fit in a 26th land in this deck and play a 4th Evolving Wilds. That's certainly something for testing. Now onto the sideboard. For the sideboard, I have just listed cards that I would consider for sideboarding. Sideboarding, as ever, is very meta dependent, so just some standard cards I would consider for any Bant sideboard. The easy ones are the ones that are used in most Bant sideboards now. Jaddy Offshoot against aggro decks, Negate and Dispel in some combination against decks running or based around key non-creature spells like Collected Company, and Tragic Arrogance as the sweeper of choice. Some more sideboard options. Gideon could come into contention in this deck, though his double white casting cost does count against him, and we're not really a tokens deck, but it could still have some benefits. Avacyn, just another strong white card again. Double white casting cost, kind of competes with Dragonlord Ojutai. I'd decide which one you prefer and have one in the main board. You could have the other in the sideboard. Avacyn works as a sweeper against tokens, so that's always nice. More Declaration Stone in the sideboard. Removal's always nice to have, and Declaration's one of the best spells in the format right now. And Ojutai's Command. Ojutai's Command is great at getting back Jaces. And it can get back Sylvan Advocate, but they're the only two creatures it can get back out of the main board. But again, it's a counter spell. You can cycle it, you can gain some life. Some of the new Eldritch Moon cards I'd consider. Thalia Heretic Thar. Her ability punishes 3 colour decks more than anything, so look to sideboard her in if you're playing against a deck like Esper or Grixis, or any form of 3 colour deck that may have Resurgence post-release. Collective Effort is an interesting card. It's a very versatile card. Versatile cards are good to have in your sideboard, though I think this is basically a weaker version of Dramoka's Command, so until Dramoka's Command rotates out, it's unlikely to see that much play. And Unsubstantiate, it's quite a powerful blue spell. Just the ability to bounce any spell or creature, quite strong. So that is the deck tech. What do you think? You think it's a deck that can tackle green-white tokens, white weenie, the threats of Bant Company? Will it fight off the decks, no doubt, that come out with Emrakul? Let us know below. If you like the deck tech, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Twitter, the link is in the description. We will hopefully be doing more deck techs and more videos, standard videos, drafting videos in the future, so if you want to watch them, then subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you come back in the future.